Welcome to this introductory video on how to access Zoom. For context, Zoom is an online video conferencing and meeting platform where individuals across the world from different towns and different businesses can connect virtually. Zoom allows you to participate in a conversation in many different ways. One of the ways in which you can communicate within a Zoom call is utilising the chat function, which allows you to type out a message and send this either to the group as a whole or to a specific individual within the meeting. You also have the option to use your microphone and to speak into this, and you can choose to have your webcam on or off. There is flexibility here, and you can unmute and remute your microphone and your camera at any time. It's also useful to note that there is a phone app for Zoom, so this can also be used on a mobile. However, for the purpose of this video, we will be going through the PC laptop version only. The most common way in which to receive an invitation for a Zoom meeting will be via email. Every Zoom meeting has its own dedicated link in which to click on and access the meeting. There are two ways in which you can access a Zoom hyperlink in order to join a meeting. The first method is to hold down your mouse key and drag this across the hyperlink. Once you've done this, right-click on this area and from the dialog box, select Copy Hyperlink. What you can then do is navigate to your internet, and at the top here in the URL box, right-click and select the paste option. Here you can either click the arrow, which means divert me to the website, or you can press the enter key. Another option is to right click on the hyperlink as shown here, and from the dialog box simply select Open Hyperlink. Once you have opened the hyperlink, you may be shown a number of different dialog boxes, which are essentially the little square boxes that appear on your screen prompting you to make a decision. In this instance, I'm being asked if I definitely wish to open Zoom meetings. You may be given alternative dialog boxes, and this is just to make sure that you're trying to perform the action as it's shown on screen. So here I'm going to confirm that I do want to open Zoom meetings and wait for the client to start. There are two ways to start up Zoom. The first of which is to join through your browser, as shown on the screen here. What this means is that you will be rediverted to another web page in which you can access your meeting. The alternative option is that you will be given an application to download, and once you have clicked on the application and downloaded this, a dialog box will pop up prompting you to log into the meeting. In this example, I am joining through a browser, and what I am being asked initially is just to confirm my name so that the meeting host knows who's joining the meeting. I do want to stress that the steps that I am showing you in which to access the meeting, such as needing to confirm your name, are completely mirrored between the browser option and the application option. They are both the same steps performed in different methods. As you will now see, I'm being asked to confirm a password, and this is just to ensure that no one other than the intended delegates join the meeting. You should receive this password with the meeting invitation that the host sends you. If you have not been supplied with a password, get in touch with the meeting organiser. As you can see, I am currently waiting to be let into the meeting by the meeting host. When you are in this meeting room, which is called your personal meeting room, it essentially acts as a waiting area. As you will see, I am on the screen here, and at the bottom I have the option to either join with video or join without video. In this instance, I'm going to join without video. Once your screen has loaded, you will then be able to see all of the different participants in a meeting. If you have entered the meeting, as an example, with both your microphone on and your video on, you will have the option whilst in the Zoom meeting at the bottom here to either mute yourself or stop your video. And once you've selected these options, you can very quickly re-click and unmute yourself, or turn your video off and turn it back on again. What you will see at the bottom here are a number of different options. The first option is participants, and if you click onto this, it will show you exactly who is currently in the Zoom meeting. And at the side here, you are shown icons, and this is telling you what individual settings each delegate in the meeting has. So whether they've got their microphone on, whether they've got their webcam on, and it just gives you a good breakdown. At the bottom here, there is also an invitation to invite someone to the meeting. There are 3 options here. The first of which is default email, and what this means is if you select this option, it will open up a separate page to whichever email service you primarily use. You've then got the Gmail option or the Yahoo Mail. At the bottom here, there are 2 additional buttons. The copy invite link will simply copy the hyperlink for the meeting automatically to your clipboard. And what you can then do is navigate to an email, right-click and paste. I'll show you an example of this. If we copy the invite link, navigate to our emails, right-click and paste. We quickly hide this option here, which we can do by selecting this little downward arrow icon and choosing to close. The second option is the chat option, which we briefly explored in this video. If you select this option, you are able to contribute to the group chat. And this is especially useful if you don't wish to be on microphone or webcam but still want to contribute. So if you type a message into here and hit enter, that message will automatically be sent to the Zoom group chat. You also have the option at the bottom to attach a file. And what this will do is allow you to redirect yourself to whatever location you stored your documents in, whether this be your computer, your Google Drive, OneDrive, etc. If we look at the 3-dot icon here, there's also the option to save a chat. So if there are notes and points made in the Zoom call that you want to reference to, you have the option to do so here. Another feature, which we've briefly discussed, is this To option. So if you click on the drop down here, you can choose who specifically you want to send a message to. It is automatically set to everyone, so every message you post, as you can see at the top, will go to everyone in that group chat. However, if there's a delegate that you specifically want to say something to without necessarily having the rest of the group see that message, you can select their name from the drop down here, and what you'll see is this now says that this is a private message just between you and that individual. As we did previously, let's just hide this option for now. The middle option at the bottom of the screen here is the share option. This is if you want the delegates in the meeting to see your computer screen. So if you select this, a dialog box will pop up, and here you can select the specific page on your computer or laptop that you want to present. If you want to share your entire screen, so if you were to click between different internet pages, email pages, it would show the people in the meeting everything you do. But you do also have the option to open a specific application. So for example, if you're only wanting to share a Word document, or you're only wanting to share a preview of work you're completing, then you can select a very specific option here. If we select the share option, as seen at the top, it confirms you are now screen sharing. And at any point, you can stop the share by ticking the box shown here. And you'll return to the meeting as before. Another thing to point out on the share screen option is the whiteboard here. If we hit share, this will open up a feature of Zoom which allows you to freely draw, as shown by my very terrible handwriting here. And you have all different options at the top here to get a bit creative. It's just an alternative way to get a point across other than speaking on camera or typing. The fourth option is the record button. For the majority of meetings, the meeting host will determine whether a meeting is recorded or not, but you may have the option and you can check so here. Finally is the reactions button. Here, very similar to social media or texting, you can simply give a reaction. So rather than having to type anything in the text box, let's say you just give a thumbs up. And what happens is that will appear at the top here for everyone to see. As you will see at the top here, against the name of the meeting host, we've got a few options at the top. We can choose to mute that individual, or if we click on the three dots, we have a number of different options here. The most important one is the pin video. So what this will do is ensure that that individual's webcam or microphone, as shown here, at the moment it simply states their name because their webcam is turned off. This little black box will take up the entirety of your screen because you have asked Zoom to pin this person, meaning that they are the primary focus for you. And there are other individuals in the Zoom meeting. All of the delegates will be listed at the top here. At the moment, we only have one individual, which is the meeting host, but if we had other delegates, these would all be shown at the top here. If their camera was enabled, you would be able to see their face. Otherwise, it would simply be their name, as shown in the example here. Again, with all the individual delegates, you can choose to mute them if you wish to, or you can choose to pin them. Another important thing to note is that if a delegate is speaking and has their microphone unmuted, their little black box, as shown here, will become prioritised. And what we mean by that is, if you have a group of delegates that's quite large, such as 30 individuals, naturally all of their individual little boxes or webcam videos won't all be able to show on the same screen. And what Zoom does is enables individuals to pop up as a priority when they are speaking. So each time someone speaks, you are able to see either their name or their webcam at the top here. However, there is the option when there are multiple delegates to scroll across the screen, and what you will have at the side is a little arrow option, and that just means you can scroll through and view different people. If you're struggling with connectivity in your Zoom call, if you can't hear people properly or things are breaking up a little bit, it's always useful to check this icon at the bottom here. This is telling you how good your internet signal is. So this is a really important thing just to keep a check of. When you are finished with the meeting, all you need to do is select the leave option. If you happen to encounter any issues when trying to access a Zoom meeting, you can navigate to the Zoom Contact Us area on their website. The hyperlink for this, or the URL, is zoom.us/contact, as shown at the top here. And what you will see on this page is an option for contact support. If you select this, you are taken to the Zoom Help Centre, and at the top you have a free search bar to specify what it is you're struggling with. An important point to note, however, is that the majority of issues, especially technical ones faced with Zoom, are often due to connectivity, so it's always good to check your Wi-Fi to make sure that this is working how it needs to. It may also be an issue with firewall, which is the protection set up on your computer or laptop to protect you from viruses. So these are just a few things to keep in mind if you're encountering any issues. Thank you for watching this introductory video to Zoom.